Go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone regardless of religious or non-religious background and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who've passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad to have you here with us this evening, and thank you, Reverend Sue, for being here.
I'm so happy to be with you guys.
Go ahead and unmute. We're so thrilled to have you here. And I just want to say, first of all, that Reverend Sue is one of the providers here in Helping Parents Heal who does the most with all of our parents. She comes to all of our meetings. She's present at Unity. She is constantly wanting to help. And I just feel that it's such a wonderful thing to have someone like that who truly cares about all of the parents. She cares about all of you. And the tools that she has, the numerology that she is able to teach and to offer to all of us, is something that can really help us with the passing of our children, but also just the craziness in the world today. So she's going to be doing a guided meditation. Please put in the chat box who you are, where you're from. I see that there are people from Canada, from New Zealand, and from all over, so that's a very exciting thing. But I'm going to go ahead and read a very short bio before we get started. Reverend Sue Frederick is an ordained Unity minister, clairaudient, soul regression therapist, an angelic realm channel, and master numerologist. She channels messages and prayers from the angelic realm and receives wisdom from guides to help people heal from the passing of a loved one and find purpose. She uses sacred numerology and mystical information in her books and teachings. Reverend Sue Frederick is the author of 11 books, including Through a Divine Lens, Practices to Quiet Your Ego and Align with Your Soul, and the Sacred Numerology Workbook. And I know that all of you know both of those books because we've already talked about them before. As a student of numerology since 1980, she brings a deeply enlightened perspective to using numbers as navigational guidance tools to deciphering the soul's journey. And her website is www.suefrederick.com. I'm going to put that in the chat box. And without further ado, please join me and Irene in welcoming the beautiful Reverend Sue Frederick. Welcome, Reverend Sue.
Oh, I'm so happy to be with all of you. I mean, this is my happiest place in the world, is to be talking to Helping Parents Heal. And I wanted to talk this time about the energy of 2025 and seeing how it can transform us, and also looking at it through the Chinese view of the year of the snake, as well as the numerology, Pythagorean numerology that I do, in order to help all of us move through this year. I think we can agree that it's a pretty powerful year. Started out with fires in California and political disagreement, and now we're having a plane crash like we haven't had in a long time. So there's so much energy to 2025. I want to really help all of you understand how to use that for your connection to children, your children in spirit, to your connection to your higher self, your God consciousness. And what I have even found is, doing my client work, that I am able to bring clients so quickly into that higher state of seeing and feeling their child in spirit, hugging them. And it just feels like the veil is so much thinner now. And yes, the energy is so intense right now. So I want to first talk about what the 2025 digits to the number 9. And so this is a 9 universal year. Now, some of you have studied numerology with me, and you know that the 9 has a couple of different meanings. And one part of the 9 means surrender of the old, surrender of what needs to be let go of. And the other part of the 9 is about really stepping up to compassion and grace and humanitarian wisdom. All of that really good culmination of learning stuff is all in the 9. So when we look at all that together, this is our year of forgiveness, of healing, of compassion and surrender. I even titled it this year, I wanted to read it to you. Let's call it the year of beyond the veil consciousness, because we have a choice. Are we going to look at this year and be caught in what we are letting go of and how painful that may be? Or can we shift into seeing the incredible growth, the thinning of the veil, the ability to connect with spirit in such profound ways now, and our own personal ability to find that place of forgiveness and compassion and healing and surrender of what no longer serves us. You all know that I work with the angels and I teach an angelic ministry class that is my favorite thing in the world. And in there, and we're starting one again on Monday night, we always go to the angels and say, lift me up from my pain, lift me up from my disappointment, lift me up from my grief. And that response is so immediate. And now in 2025, it's even more, it's so quick. You can do it. Like last night, I woke up from a dream and just said in bed, I said, all right, angels, lift me, help me, heal me. And then I went into a dream where I'm going to just share that I had this amazing dream about Amber's son, Jagger, because Amber and I are good friends. And Jagger was with me, and Jagger was staying in a condo with me in my dream vision. And we were walking outside and watching sports. And then Jagger was hugging me and kind of thanking me for being a good friend to his mom. And it was so real. I know I was with him. And this morning, I forgot to call Amber right away because I was busy with a client. And as soon as the client was over, I picked up my phone to do email. And what do you guys think popped up on my phone with nothing on my part doing it? Amber's contact info. Like Jagger was going, call her, tell her about the dream. And so I called Amber and told her about it. But it is so normal now for us to be having these kinds of experiences because all of us are having the year of beyond the veil consciousness. So use this energy to lift you and bring you to see beyond what is actually happening on earth, to see in the divine realms how the spirits of our children, how the spirits of our loved ones, how the angels are all saying, this is your moment, grow, step up. And then some of you know that I have a 30-year-old daughter who's an acupuncturist, a doctor of Chinese medicine. And today she wrote this beautiful piece that I posted about what she does. And part of it is that in Chinese medicine, as many of you know, every year is a different year of the rabbit, this year, 2025, is the year of the snake. Now, before you get worried about that, the way they see that in Chinese medicine goes completely along with the way we're talking about the number 9. So the year of the snake is about peeling the skin away of the snake. And so I even Googled it. Why does the snake shed its skin? And listen to this beautiful quote that I got. Where did I put it? Sorry, I have my notes everywhere. The snake sheds their skin to accommodate growth and to remove old damage. Now, look at that. This is our year of shedding our skin to make room for our spiritual growth, our healing growth, our heart growth, in order to also release the damage of the old. So, when your child crosses, of course, it's a very traumatic thing, and it's damage of your heart, of your human self, of the traumatic stress you've been through with all of it. Now, use this year of shedding that skin. I'm not saying don't grieve. Of course, I want you to grieve and feel the pain, but be aware that there is an opportunity if you've been holding on to some pain for a long time, that this is your moment to say, I'm just letting that peel away from me, because now my radiant higher self is going to shine through. And my higher self may look and feel so different than the self I've been walking through the world with, because your higher self is so connected to the God force, is so connected to the angels. So, just to review, this 2025 year is your year to let go of the old skin, shed the skin from the snake, and use the energy of the 9 to step into the forgiveness, the healing, the compassion, the surrender, the stepping up to the higher frequency. And there's a 22 hidden in this year of 2025. Now, we all know that means 22 is a year of achieving consciousness, higher consciousness. But of course, all these things are our free will. That's the great thing about being human. So we can have, within the same day, we can have devastating pain and grief, can't get out of bed, and then ask the angels for a little help. And then suddenly we're shifting into a higher frequency. And I also want to remind you all how powerful laughter is for helping us achieve these higher states of consciousness. We're talking about even connecting to spirit, because all of you know, because I've talked about it too many times, that my best girlfriend, Chrissy, as soon as she crossed when I was 30, 31, came to me that night before I even knew she had crossed. And she made me laugh all night long in a way that my stomach muscles were hurting in the morning, just the way she had done when we were best friends on earth. And she was telling me in that moment, Sue, God is laughter. The higher divine realms are laughter filled. The heavenly realms have the sound of laughter. And when I take spirits into the divine for the sessions, they'll often see their child coming towards them laughing. And if the child was very depressed or anxious on earth, those emotions are gone when we see them in spirit, because those are just human states of consciousness, and they peel away as we lift out of the body and out of the dense earth realms and step into the higher space of laughter. Even if your child had been sick, all of that is gone, and that beautiful being is sitting there laughing with you. My Chrissy had been through horrible leukemia and a bone marrow transplant, great suffering. She was hard to even look at. Her body was so swollen with chemo and different things. And the minute she crossed, she was my beautiful, funny, crazy, laughing Chrissy, and just so healthy and so renewed. And that's how it is. And we can try to go there as well while we're still in body and have that cleansing, that shifting of energy. And laughter is one of the best ways. So I really hope all of you have a laughter buddy for 2025. I called my laughter buddy today, and I said, you got to help me. I got to shift my energy because I was upset about the plane crash and different things. And she just started, she's so great. She goes, let me tell you a story. And she makes me laugh. And that story reminds me of a story. And I go, oh, well, let me tell you a story. And we just go back and forth laughing and laughing. And by the end of that conversation, I was like, thank you so much, Katie. That's exactly what I needed, you know? So please find your laughter buddy. And also, I promised that I would talk about soul agreements tonight. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit, and then I want you to write your questions in the chat box about it as well. Whenever I work with grieving people of any kind, whether it's their partner who's crossed or their child, you know, the big question is, what is the purpose of this soul agreement? How can my soul be learning anything when I'm just in so much pain? And that is a completely valid thing. And the truth is, when our beloved first crosses, yes, we are often in so much pain and anger that we can't see through it yet. We can't make progress right away. And I just want to bless all of you, because if you're in that state of incredible pain, incredible grief, incredible anger, just remember that all of those emotions are just energy and we can work with them. We don't want to go numb. You know, I often say that the doctors will tell you, oh, go take medications, just not flatline all that feeling so you don't have to feel it. And I'm not telling you not to do that, but I'm just saying you do want to feel, because the feeling of the pain, the feeling of the anger becomes a frequency shift. If you allow it to run through you, cry your eyes out, let it go, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel that frequency shift. I used to tell my grieving parents, if you're incredibly angry, that's really good. That's energy. Use that energy to get you out of bed in the morning. If 2025 has things happening that are making you angry, use that anger to pump your energy, to get you to go create a group gathering that would make you happy. You know, I always, whenever I'm upset about the world, I ask the angels to give me a new download of something, a new class or new something to teach. And in the last few weeks, I've downloaded 3 new classes, made 3 amazing workbooks, got all kinds of content from the higher realms because I needed it and I asked for it. So right now, I'm just going to show you the really quick way to ask for this angelic help. This is not our guided meditation. I'm going to do that in a few minutes, but I want to show you how easy it is. Right now, just close your eyes and take a breath. And now just say with pure lightness and open energy, just say, please, angels, lift me up right now. Shift my frequency. Help me feel better. And take another breath. And just feel that the angels are around you. They are now going, we love you. All is well with your soul. Trust us. All is in divine order. Everything will feel better soon. Trust us. And so we absorb that beautiful message. We take it in. I go, okay, I can go on for another day. That's how easy it is to get angelic help. I call the angels our first responders because, you know, you might have departed loved ones who you call on them to help you. And, you know, they kind of are in their personalities the way we kind of knew them. You know, like my father, if I call on him to help me, he'll give me very practical advice because that's how he was when he was here. And yet, if I call on the angels to lift me up, they just come and laugh with me and make me feel better. And they'll point out something funny to make me laugh. And I feel them like kissing my head. It's just such an immediate, beautiful, beautiful, lifting up. One more thing. My 98 100-year-old mother is still lingering between this realm and the higher realms, and she's bedridden, and my brother is very upset about it because he's there on the ground with her day after day, and she can't get out of bed, and yet, she won't really surrender to the process of dying. Like, she kicks the hospice nurse out of the room. This is the stubbornness that runs in my lineage here. I have just as much of it. But today I was able to talk to my mom on the phone, and Tom, my brother, puts the speakerphone on and puts it up, and Mom can just hear me. I can barely hear her. And I said, "Mom, how are you doing today?" And she very faintly said, not good." And I said, "Mom, do you see that angel statue?" Because I'm always sending her angel statues, and she's got them on her table. And I said, "Look at that angel statue right now. Just feel that angel coming and patting you on the head, kissing you, relieving your pain, telling you all is well, and feel that." And her whole demeanor changed. And my brother Tom said, "Wow." It was like she suddenly had a peace, that peace of saying, "Okay, I don't have to struggle. All is well." And of course, it was fleeting, for her, but we can all feel that peace. We can call it in and feel it. So that's your homework in 2025, is to use these tools, whether it's the numerology or the energy of the peeling off of the skin, or the meditation, or the calling in the angels, or even just doing the asking, what is the lesson of this moment of pain for me? Because that answer will come to you very, very quickly. And it's never a punishing lesson. It's always an enlightening lesson. So when I look back at my cancer journey last spring and all of my health things, as I've kept saying, what is the lesson here for me in this? And it's been about shedding the skin, letting go of the old. And I mean, by the time you're in your 70s, you got a lot of accumulated pain that you're still kind of holding on to. And so I realize in the past year, I've really been shedding so much of that, letting it go physically as well as emotionally and spiritually. In so many ways, I feel like a completely different person than I did before I was diagnosed last spring. So when we look at our challenges this way, what is my beautiful lesson in it? How do I move through it with grace and courage? We suddenly get answers that really do help us walk through it. So on that note, I'm going to shut up. And are there any questions in the chat box for us, Elizabeth?
Yes, there are several questions, and some of them are really insightful. Marina is saying, yesterday we started the new moon, and she said that there are some videos on the internet saying that yesterday's new moon opens a portal to other dimensions. Can you comment on that?
I think that portal to other dimensions has been open for a while now. And I think, yes, the full moon and the new moon definitely increases that energy. The full moon forever has been an energetic shift that affects everything on Earth, from the tides in the ocean to our own bodily fluids. And, my sister is a nurse, and she would always validate that on a full moon night, there's more people coming to the ER. And so when we look at that in a good way, in a consciousness shifting way, the fact that we're in a 9 universal year, and by the way, this January is a 1 universal month, the beginning of this new process, this new opening of the portal, this new shifting to a higher frequency that's unfolding this year. And then February brings in the 11/2 month in the 9 universal year. All of these are lifting us up to a different portal, a different frequency, but it's all good. I would say to her, I would say it's nothing to be afraid of. I know there's a lot of talk on the internet about dark things happening in the new portal. Listen, our job right now is to see the light of higher consciousness, to use the energy of beautiful spirit, knowing that the higher realms are an unconditional love realm. That is what our universe is made from. This image behind me that I was given In 2014, I was told the light is always winning. Never forget that. There is no such thing as a dark force that's going to take over the world or the galaxies or any of that, because above all of it is our God source. And our God source is the flow and the consciousness of unconditional love. And that flows through all of us all the time. One of my favorite sayings as a unity minister is, wherever I go, God is. And I want you all to say that. And we don't mean the punishing God or the old story of God. We mean the God force of unconditional love. Did that answer your question? I hope.
Oh, I think it did, and I don't think that there's any reason to worry about any lower realm. I think that just the idea that we can, with any of these new moons or full moons or any of those, we can get closer to our kids is the most important thing. That, and it's wonderful to know that this year is going to bring that as well.
Yes.
There's also Chris who's saying, how do we know what our soul plan is? And I know that there's no short answer to that, but maybe you could just give him an idea of, or her an idea. Sorry,
Yeah.
Chris, I'm not sure if you're a woman or
Well,
a man.
there's what is our soul mission? You can hear the answer to that told through many different lenses, and over time I've studied all of them. And what I can tell you for me personally is that numerology really does give you the greatest insight into your particular soul mission because it's very specific. And the way I teach it, so it combines your sun sign with your birth path to give you this gestalt, this whole picture of what your soul came to do and accomplish in this lifetime. And the good news is, if you're interested in that, if you're drawn to that, you can go to my website, suefrederick.com, and I have a free soul path calculator on there. It's on the nav bar, and you just click on that, input your date of birth, and you're going to get so much information, and then you can apply that to the knowledge that's in my videos. I have numerology class videos that are free in my channel, YouTube channel, and also my workbook, Sacred Numerology. There's so much information I have put out there that's so available to all of you to find your birth path. And that means your purpose here. Even when you've gone through devastating grief, you're still here because you have a soul mission. You're still here because you agreed to step up to the next level of your growth and turn around and help others. This is why we are here. And as long as you're taking another breath, it means you're still getting it done and you've still got something you wanted to get done here. And it's always about helping others, but in your unique way, and each of us has a very unique and specific way of doing that. Also, you can go to my first book, I See Your Dream Job, where I connected the numbers specifically to career.
Wonderful. And also, I just want to say that that Sacred Numerology workbook is so easy to get on Amazon. It's not very expensive at all. It's under $10, I know for sure, and it's a really great help. So if you do go on to her calculator and calculate what your numerology number is, or that of your child, for instance, then you can find out lots more information in there. I also have. Let's see. There are a lot of people who are asking, like Karen's been asking twice now.
Mhm.
What are we supposed to be learning from all of this? So I guess that just in terms of having a child pass, I think that a lot of people would like to know
Yeah.
the reason that they need to learn this in this soul path.
Well, let me just say, before I ever met Helping Parents Heal or Elizabeth or anything in my own study, because it was 1980 when my husband died of cancer, and 1981 when Chrissy died of leukemia, and I could go on all through my 30s. Everybody I loved pretty much was dying young of cancer and things like that. So I really went on the journey of why. Why would anybody have to go through devastating grief? Why was I still here? What was my purpose? And what I've learned is before the lifetime begins, you sit with your group, your soul posse, and that includes your children who are eternal, ageless beings, not just the form of the child who came through in this lifetime. And you sat in that circle and you all said, what can we do to help consciousness on earth, humanity's consciousness, evolve to a higher place of love and compassion and awareness on the earth realm, because it's already that exalted in the divine realms, but we're trying to bring it down to this earthly realm. And we all said, you all said, and your departed children all said, let's go do the bravest, most courageous thing souls can do on earth in order to help wake up everyone there to the deeper meaning of life and why we are here as beings, which is to find love and compassion and wisdom and help each other evolve. So you agreed, your child said, I'll do it. I don't want to stay long there anyway. I'm not crazy about that earth realm, but I'll drop in and I'll be your child and I'll stay as long as I'm supposed to stay in order to help all of you when I cross over, to break your hearts wide open to higher understandings of love and compassion and forgiveness. Now, that sounds wacky from the human mind because our human ego self would never agree to that. We would never sign that contract. But your soul, you have to remember that a huge part of your soul is your higher self that never even comes to earth, that is immersed in the world of love and wisdom and higher consciousness and goodness and wants to help in every way possible. And so, yes, that higher part of you and your child agreed to the journey that you've been walking. And now that they've fulfilled their part of it and crossed, first of all, congratulate yourself for being such an evolved soul and your children being so highly evolved that they're on the team of awakening humanity. And congratulate yourself for being so brave and so strong that you're still here trying every day to figure it out, to understand how to move forward, to understand how to keep your heart open and loving and courageous, and that you will, because you are trying. The fact that you're even on this video tonight, the fact that you found Helping Parents Heal, it means you're part of this team of highly evolved souls. You are the team of greater than the SEAL team. We can call it the angelic SEAL team that went through the toughest hard training in order to be able to save the world. And here we are.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Sue. I also have questions about the number that people come up with for their children and for themselves. Julie's asking, my son has the life path number of 22, and yet his behavior here doesn't seemingly line up with the traits of a 22. Is it possible for someone to fall away from the path that they were born with?
Yeah, I love that question. So before we came down here, we had to make the agreement that we understood that it would still be free will when we got here. Or what would be the point, right? If we got here and everything was destined and there was no way we could fail, there's just no growth in that. And so we all agreed that free will would be a part of it because our souls are independent and unique and free will, even though we're also part of the God source. And so we all came down here and then we hit our moment of greatest pain. And it was a choice, and it is every day and every minute of your life a choice. Am I going to live up to the highest frequency of my soul path and my soul potential, or will I live in the lower frequency of it for a while and maybe learn from that and then choose if I'm ready to step up? And every one of us, including all of you, have done that. We've been on both ends of the continuum of our particular soul path. And every day we wake up and make a decision about where we're going to be on that continuum today. And it's all good because that is how the light and dark interplays here. And as you see this image that the angels gave me, it's an interplay of light and dark. This is where growth happens. This is where the soul evolves. This is where evolution of consciousness happens. And so you have to have the free will. We have to have the players who live on the dark side of their path and then maybe wake up and rise up. And we have to have the children who come in and maybe they decide to act in ways that we don't understand. But when they cross, they all say, I learned exactly what I went to the world, the earth world, to learn. It was not a mistake. I did exactly what I needed to do for my soul's evolution and for all of my loved ones. So trust that your child, even if they may have behaved in ways that you just don't understand, that was serving their higher soul growth.
Well, I think that was a beautiful answer. And Stephanie is asking, my number for my son is 33. Suzanne, I guess Giesman, told me that it's the highest number in the universe. The flight that crashed was headed for runway 33. Any
I
thoughts?
know.
I
Yes, I
okay.
love that. And I
Well,
love it that Suzanne Giesman told you 33 is the highest number. I didn't know she was into numerology, so that's great. But
so
yes,
I thought that probably it didn't have the same significance as a birth number, but she's saying, and I think that you're probably going to say this too, I think it does, Elizabeth, for me, because I see them so often, and when 33 ends up in an earth event that big, I want to know
yes.
how numbers and
I agree 100%. And let me talk about the 33. The 33 is the number of, we call it Christ consciousness. And I'm not talking about the Jesus story of the Bible. Christ is the compassionate heart. Jesus was the man who walked on earth with the Christ consciousness emanating from him of pure compassion and love and awakening while in body on earth. So we can all achieve that Christ consciousness in our physical bodies and our physical lifetimes. And 33 is the number that represents that huge awakening of the heart, of the higher consciousness for the world at large and for each of us in our own journeys. And if that's our path number, then that's a big calling that our soul agreed to have to walk that journey and to wake up through. In fact, yesterday I had a client who's 33 path, and her life has been very difficult, very challenging. But here she is doing a session with me talking about love and forgiveness and moving forward. I mean, that is the courage of coming to earth on a huge accelerated growth path. Now, the 33 of the plane crashing to me means it's one of the moments of this 9 universal year that's going to help us all awake, and that those souls on that plane are part of the posse of highly evolved souls awakening the universe. And you know what's so interesting when you look at their pictures? There's so many beautiful figure skaters on that plane. I mean, the epitome of grace and beauty and goodness. And you see them crossing over, and of course, our human side will go, oh, that's horrible. But what if they're angels and they came to help wake us all up by breaking us apart? And I know that's a hard thing to understand with our human minds, but if that can give you comfort, that's a really good way to see this.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I just want to say that she said no, it was Suzanne Frederick. So it's actually
Oh,
Sue Frederick that told me this, not Suzanne Giesman. She
I was
just,
going to call Suzanne and go, Suzanne, you're into numbers. Let's
oh,
talk about it.
I just wanted to clarify that. So, anyway, I also have Laura saying that her daughter sends her 33 all the time. And Debbie's asking how to find out what a child's number is. I know that up above in the chat box, Sue's calculator is up here. So April had posted that. And then Marina is saying that she is a 4, but she doesn't know what that means. It doesn't say what it means. So again, if you're interested in finding out more about this, just go to the workbook. It is so easy to follow. So
And the other thing is, Elizabeth, if they don't want to pay, for buying a workbook, I have free numerology class videos at my YouTube channel. So you can just go to the Sue Frederick YouTube channel and type in numerology, and you're going to see me teaching a whole class on the meaning of the number 4, the meaning of the number 5, the meaning of the number 33. And when you find that number of your child and you hear me talk about that, it is so healing. It is so helpful. And I'm willing and happy to always do that in all my classes that I teach. And I'll be teaching another numerology class in a few months. So let me help you with that, because that's such a helpful healing thing. And then you have a soul agreement with your child because your child was on a certain path number and you're on a certain path number. You add those two numbers together and you get your soul agreement. So I'll give you an example. I'm on the 22/4 path, and my beautiful husband Paul, who crossed and woke me up in 1980, was on the 5 path, and you add our numbers together and it's the number 9 is our soul agreement. So just like we talked about earlier tonight, 9 carries surrender of the old, peeling away of what no longer serves us, stepping up into the higher consciousness of spirituality and awakening to forgiveness, compassion. That was my agreement with Paul. And I thought it was live happily ever after and have babies and a white picket fence life. And that wasn't what I had signed up for. So go and look and see what your soul agreement is with your departed child. I think it'll be very healing for you.
that's a very good advice, and it is a lot of fun to be able to find these things out. And we have one question that I would love to hear the answer to and find out what the difference is. Robin is saying, do you prefer Pythagoras numerology rather than Kabbalah? If so, why? Could you maybe speak to that?
Yeah, because Pythagoras was the numerology that I was introduced to in 1980 and began studying then and have studied ever since. But as I've studied, I've added things to it and gotten downloads from spirit. So the numerology that I practice today is based on the Pythagorean, but it's also inspired by conversations with spirit and with the angels telling me more and more about what the different numbers mean and how the way that the number looks also affects the vibration of it. And so, yes, it's kind of all, I mean, it's 40 something years of working with the numbers. So now there's a lot of different components to it. But for example, if you're on the 7 path or you're wanting to know the number 7, what it's about intuition and study and sort of turning inward, but it's also got sharp edges. So it can kind of mean being extremely analytical and critical. And yet at the same time, it's, got the beautiful sharp edges of like a pick hammer that you can break something open if you really want to know what's inside. 7 is all of that. And studying these numbers, you really get to see, wow, like the 3 is sort of half of an 8. So what does that mean? It's so fun. And the 6 and the 9 are the flip, the yin and the yang of each other. And here we are in the 9 universal year. And our 6 universal month will be in June. So that's going to be a very interesting month for the universal transition that we're all in.
Wonderful. And Sherry's asking a really beautiful question. She says, can you please explain feeling increased vibrations in the body? Are they related to raising our personal vibration, or is it the presence of loved ones or angels from a higher plane? Thank you for your answer.
What I know is that whenever I feel spirit in the room or angel, or I'm talking to someone and we feel that validation sign coming through, I get that vibrational feeling as well. Some of us call it just getting the chills, but the more sensitive you are to it, the more you feel that vibration frequency. In fact, sometimes it's too much, right? I mean, I've had that experience at the Helping Parents Heal conference where I'm walking around having these extraordinary connections with people and their children in spirit. And this part of my back of my ears and above my ears starts like vibrating and ringing. And I know it's the spirits lifting me up, but sometimes I have to go, whoa, I think I better go sit down and drink some water, So, but it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
It is a good thing, and it definitely happens when we're at the Sheraton. Boy, oh boy, that's on sacred ground, and it's just amazing how the kids show up there. Um,
Yes.
Jessica has a good question. I'm sure that you can answer. Um, can you speak to very young children crossing? Do they truly complete their soul plan even
Yeah.
being so young? Is
Yeah,
there
those children are angels and they've never intended to stay long, and they are not of this world. They are mostly from the angelic realms, and they agree to come in even in a miscarriage situation is an angelic soul. And they are completely evolved souls. They're not babies or, the way that we think of a child. They are eternal, ageless, highly evolved souls. Um, I'll never forget someone that I love very much had a miscarriage years ago, and we did a little session where we talked to the spirit of that child. And she just said so clearly to us, don't worry, that was not for me. That was for you to wake you up to your higher purpose. I am fine. Nothing has hurt me. And that was the soul of that beautiful child who was miscarried. So if you can allow yourself to consider that as a possibility, it is so healing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for telling us about that. And I know that you're going to be doing a guided meditation, and I'm thrilled about that. I just want to tell everyone on here beforehand, because Irene always tells me we have to remember, please sign up for our YouTube channel. This recording will be on there, but you'll get notifications about the YouTube videos that are available if you are a part of our community. And we're almost at 8,000, which is wonderful. Not as many people as we have in the group, but we would love that. And anyway, I think that we probably have just about 13 minutes left. Do you think that that's enough time to
Yeah.
do?
Let's do that. So for all of you, what I just want to say is use this meditation to no, just allow your consciousness to go on this journey with me. Let me be your tour guide. And, if you see things or feel things or hear things, take note of that. And if you feel like writing it down as you experience it, that's totally fine. Or you can just go through the experience with me. And then after it's over, you can pull out your journal and say, here's what I experienced, and write it down. Because what's amazing is we have these profound out-of-body experiences when we do these kinds of meditations, but then if we don't really write it down, we'll often just forget. So use this opportunity. I'm going to guide you to have a conversation with your child, and whatever they tell you, it would probably be good to write it down so that you can remember it. All right, so let's close our eyes and let's take a deep breath. I think it's better if I do that. All right, everyone. Let's take a deep breath here. Breathing in the higher energy, the love consciousness of the divine realms. Feeling the angels lifting us up, bringing us into the light and the laughter, the freedom, the relief of feeling that golden light of God consciousness pouring into the top of our heads, moving through every cell, bone, tissue, circulating in us with the breath, so that now, with our eyes closed, we see golden light emanating from every pore of our bodies. That golden light is the presence of God consciousness, unconditional love. This is who you are, a being of golden light. This is the essence of your soul. And as you lift easily and joyfully up above the earth realm, the angels greet you and say, "Oh, trust us. Let us take you to a healing place." And we trust the angels. They carry us through time and space so easily, with a lightness and a playfulness, showing us things, the beauty of the globe of planet Earth from a distance, seeing that play of light and dark that we are such a part of on Earth, pulling back and lifting up with the angels to go beyond our galaxy, beyond all galaxies, to where the light and the frequency is golden, pure love. And now we find ourselves in the higher realms that look so similar to the nature that we find on the earth, but much more alive, vivid with color. Look around and see the forest in the distance, the mountains, the sky, all shimmering with such a high frequency of love. So much beauty here and so much peace. Already look and see who's with you. Your beloved child is there in a form that you recognize, but also looking very happy, very healthy, very joyful. And if you've lost parents or partners, they're also here, maybe looking happier and healthier than you've ever seen them. And they're all laughing with you now, going, "Yes, let's go for a walk here." And now you're on the greatest walk of your life with these beloveds. And they're showing you, your child is saying, "Look, they have these lakes. Come to the lakes with me. Let me show you what we do here." And they're moving you through the forest and showing you the animals, the butterflies, the birds. So vivid, so colorful. And now taking you to the opening of the gorgeous lake of crystal water. And this, of course, is water that could never hurt you. You can breathe in this water. It's not like on Earth. So there's nothing to fear. And your child is pulling you into this lake, going, "Come and play with me, come on." And maybe they're getting you into a boat or a canoe or a raft to float in, whatever they like. And you're playing with them and laughing. It's a perfect day in this water. The sun is at the perfect angle. The temperature is just warm enough. And you feel so free, so joyful. Perhaps you haven't even felt this joyful in a while. Let it be here in this water that you reclaim your childlike joy. And now they're taking you to stand under the waterfall. And you're looking across the waterfall at all of your beloveds who are here now with you. All of you laughing and smiling. Holding your arms up in joy, kind of like Rocky from the 80s, like, "We did it, we're all here in these higher divine realms, loving each other, healing each other. And now they're pulling you to float on your back in this water next to your child, holding hands perhaps, laughing and pointing up at the sky. And just let that water hold you and soothe you and rock you and heal you. Let the water remind you that you can trust in the goodness of the world to support you. And now you are back on the shore with your whole family of loved ones, departed loved ones, all here with you. And the angels are taking you to a very beautiful meeting place. It's a circle. There are benches and a fireplace in the middle of it, stone. And you can look around the circle and see all the faces of your beloveds here, looking so happy after a long day of happiness. And your child comes to sit next to you in the circle. You can hold them on your lap or put your arm around them and just whisper to them, what do I need to know in order to live my better life right now? To be my better self. And listen to what your child tells you. It may be a simple answer, but it will be profound. Your primary spirit guide is here in the circle with you. You can ask your guide, am I learning what I went to Earth to learn? Can you help me understand why I've had so much pain? And your guide is looking at you with so much love. And your guide is answering that question for you. Absorb the answer. Thank your guide. Thank your child. Thank your beloveds in this circle. And just tell them that you'll remember how real this is. And you'll come back here on your own whenever you need comfort or healing or conversation. And so now we turn and let the angels fly us through time and space in the quantum universe, pointing out beautiful galaxies, all beings of love in every galaxy, all connected to this source of God consciousness, as you are and as your child is. We are all part of the good. We are all part of the light. We are all part of God. And now we drop back down into the physical world, remembering how dense the energy is here. Breathing back into the body. Oh, yes, it's a different frequency. It feels heavier, but now we remember the lightness, the joy of those higher realms. and you did have an answer that you received, write it down if you can, and make a plan to return to these realms. Make a plan to return there tonight in your dream vision, in just the way that Jagger came and comforted me and hung out with me last night, and he's Amber's son. Just know that tonight you will have a dream, and your beautiful child will come and hang out with you, maybe stay in your guest bedroom and make you laugh, and maybe go outside and show you something in the yard. Allow it, because it is so much easier than your mind wants to believe. Trust that it is real. Thank you.
That was so beautiful. We have people thanking you in the chat box as well. And I know that, let's see, we also have the link for your calculating tool as well as your website in the chat box. I also put the link to our YouTube channel, so if you'd like to go ahead and subscribe, please do so. That was absolutely wonderful, Sue. I was thinking when you said, let the water support you in these difficult times, and I just could feel the water buoying me up. It was such a beautiful feeling, and the whole experience was so calming. And everyone is saying this was magical, Sue. That was beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Sue. Irene, did you have anything to say?
No, just thank you, Sue. I just love you, and your voice is
Love
so
you so
calming.
much.
And I'm so happy to have this recording. And everyone, you can go back and do that meditation anytime you'd like by going to YouTube and listening to it again. And thank you. We love you.
We have Wanda saying that was the most beautiful meditation I've ever heard. So that's definitely a compliment. And I do believe that that was such a wonderful thing. And hopefully we'll be able to go back and do it over and over again. But tonight we're going to go ahead and let Reverend Sue go back to her husband, and we're going to first allow everybody to unmute and say thank you and good evening. So if you'd like to do that, please do so right now.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
That was
Thank you.
Good
beautiful.
Thank you
night.
so
God
much.
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening. Thank you so much, Reverend Sue.
Yes, thank you,
Love
Sue.
you all so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.